Afternoon. Call the meeting to order, and can I have a roll call, please?
Eltoff. Big Wood, I think we have Schuler online.
Yes, Jeremy's online for Rick.
Thanks, Jeremy. Wachensky.
Here.
Broussard.
Here.
Carlsrud.
Here.
Dardis.
Here.
Erdman. Tom online?
Here.
Okay. Idzo.
Here.
Yes, here.
Mahoney.
Here.
Meyer.
Here.
Nielsen.
This is Brian Riley for Nielsen.
Thanks, Brian. Schmaltz.
Yes.
Schmidt.
Yes.
Associates Lambret, Moe, or Siegert. We have a quorum.
We have a quorum. Good. We have Mayor Tim Meyer, as Lisbon Mayor, as new member of the board. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Hope you'll be as vocal as Bernie Dardis, so I hope it goes well.
I'll try.
Have a motion to approve the agenda.
Also move.
Is there a second? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Consideration of the minute. Consideration of the minutes of September 9th, 2025. Do I have a motion to approve? Is there a second?
Second, Schmidt.
Moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
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 Very good. Mayor Meridian, you're going to give us budget analysis statement, tab
Yes.
B in your books.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of Lake Agassiz. These are Lake Agassiz's budget analysis statement for the year 2025 up through September 30th. If you look at the top part, you'll see for the income, the total income budget was $42,044. As of September 30th, $39,089 was brought in, with a balance of $2,954. Under the expenses, you'll see that total expenses for the year, the budget is $372,245. Actual expenses were $230,585, leaving outstanding expense budget of $141,659. And then on to the bank activity. Lake Agassiz started the year with a bank balance of $251,616, with the income received of $39,000, and after bank fees, total funds available for the year were $290,574. And then down below, you'll see that we list all of the checks and expenses that were written. The last one highlighted in yellow is what has been done since your last board meeting. So total expenses were $230,585, leaving an ending bank balance on September 30th of $59,989. And I'll kind of point out that if you look, that there's still a remaining expense budget of $141,000 and only $59,000 in the bank, that Fargo and Grand Forks have agreed to cover that shortfall. So they are going to, between the two of them, to cover the shortfall and put $90,000 in the bank to cover those expenses, so that there's a little bit of funding left at the end of the year.
Thank you, Mary. Any questions of Mary? I have a motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Eltoff. Bigwood or Schuler?
Yes.
Wachensky.
Yes.
Broussard.
Yes.
Carlsrud.
Yes.
Dardis.
Yes.
Erdman.
Yes.
Idzo.
Yes.
Mahoney.
Yes.
Meyer.
Yes.
Nielsen or Riley?
Yes.
Schmaltz
Yes.
and Schmidt.
Yes.
Motion's carried.
Summary of dues and cost share paid, D, or do you
Yep.
have?
That's just in there for the board's information.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mary. Red River Valley Water Supply Project update, typical article through.
Got the right button. Good afternoon. Brought some more construction photos for you today. We'll be talking about the active construction projects on the screen in yellow. We've had a good month and a half since we last talked. For status is pipeline in the ground, 5D, 9.2 miles out of 10 in the ground, so we're at about 3/4 of a mile left. 5B, that project's all in the ground. We're left with one defective work notice on that one, so just a little bit of settlement to deal with, and then that contractor is leaving town. Contract 5C, 6.3 miles in the ground out of 8. And contract 6A, we have 2 miles out of 7 in the ground. As a reminder, 6A started later than 5C and B, so they have an extra year. Since we last talked, nearly 3 miles have been put in the ground. So we're at 9.4 miles in the ground for this year. To stay on schedule, we have in the box showing what we might have to complete. So if 5C gets 1.7 and on down the line we have 4 miles to complete, we'll probably a little short of that depending on weather. A lot of work right now is restoration. So on the left-hand side of your screen, that is the subsoil. You can kind of see that it's tan, and they have to break that up with plows on the back of the dozer with teeth, and then the topsoil is spread back over the top. Oscar Renda, so this is on project 5C. On the right-hand side of your screen, this is the jacking pit for the tunnel under the James River. As of this week, we are finally through and past the James River, so we're still tunneling, but at least we're past the critical spot, and now we're just completing our tunnel. On the left-hand side of your screen, it just shows some of the pipe installation. Contract 5D, this is the project that's nearly complete. They've had a great summer of work. Little no issues. It seems like whenever they encounter groundwater, they're able to deal with it really fast, and really good work. Contract 6A, this is the contract furthest to the east of Carrington. This is their first year of working on this contract. Again, it's going good so far. I think on the right-hand side of your screen, you'll see a manhole there. That goes up to a manhole that's above ground, and that's used for air release port. Shifting gears away from pipeline over to the pilot water treatment plant. So the first month, the pilot water treatment plant was set up at the headworks of the McCluskey Canal. The headworks of the McCluskey Canal are on the very east end of Lake Audubon. So it would be the freshest water coming out of Lake Audubon right into the canal. They tested water there for a month. After that, they picked up all the 3 units and they moved it over to mile marker 55. So the McCluskey Canal, each mile you go downstream, we call that mile marker 1, 2, 3. So where our water treatment plant is, that's at mile marker 57. So this project was brought over to mile marker 55 because we have power at that site. So they have a few weeks left of testing the water here, and I expect at one of your next meetings we'll bring back some of those water quality test results. Just a few more photos. Our water quality, or our biowater treatment plant, use plate settlers to get out kind of the solid materials, and then we use chlorine and UV. That is kind of the steps that the federal government laid out that we have to use. And then going to just contracts amount, original amount is $270 million. We have a net increase through change orders of $585,000. bringing our revised contract amount up to $271 million. Taking your attention to items 3, 4, 5, and 6, and 7. Those are the pipeline contracts. This just shows the total contract amount and how much we've invoiced to date. So 5A, that project's done, so sorry, that's 100% complete. So line 4, contract 5B, 48.5 million is the contract amount. Invoice to date is 41.1 million. That contract, we have held back liquidated damages, and so we're gonna have to start negotiating that. We'll also need TAC help on that one, once your TAC gets up and ready to help us walk through that. Line item 5, contract 5C, that contract amount is 76.6 million. Invoice to date is 61.3 million, so we're at 80%. The next line down, contract 5D, total amount 59.3 million. Invoiced amount is 52.5 million for 88% complete. And then the last item 7, contract 6A, 52.5 million for contracted amount, and we've invoiced 21.7 million for 41%. And I believe we brought this last time, and it seemed like a lot of our members like this. This shows the engineering amount of work over construction amount of work in millions of dollars. And so the blue line is the engineering amount, construction is the green. And so for the month of September, you can see the very last bar, we've added that. Any specific questions with construction over the last month I can answer?
Looks like no. Go ahead.
Do you want me to go on with your agenda, Mr.
Yep.
Chairman? In your board books, you can turn to tab E. That is your written work plan. Just note that the date on the top is September 15th. So the numbers in there are just a little outdated. We just received new pay apps, and so those are a little outdated. I just walked through most of that with you, so any questions with the work plan update report in your books?
Nope, you can go ahead with 2325, please.
So the biennium work plan for 23-25 is in your board books on tab F, and we have no changes today for you. So it's just in there for your information today.
And then on to 2527.
Same thing, so that's tab G. That is today and upcoming work. Again, today we bring no changes to you.
And Kip,
So-
since people have agreed to Series F, when will we go out to bid this fall?
Good question, yes. If I can turn your attention to the next tab, tab H. It's your program schedule. And this is a little bit variable, but if you go to lines starting at about 101 or 102, this shows an advertisement date of November 1st, and then a notice to proceed roughly January or February. However, we think we could do some things to shorten that schedule up. For example, one would be, when you go out for advertisement, you select a contractor, then you issue the notice of award, and then you get the paperwork back, you approve it, and then you issue the notice to proceed. What we would like to do is, at the time of notice of award, we'd like to issue a limited notice to proceed. So that would allow them to start buying steel coil, start working on the drawings. You could probably shrink that up another month.
Okay.
And then also, I think we could put a little more pressure on the contractor, and all we need to advertise is for 3 weeks in the papers, and we can just put more pressure on the contractor by not giving him, a month to get his numbers together, because from what we've seen, they're like a lot of college students. They wait till the last couple days anyway to do their bid work, so let's just shrink that up and save time that way too. Any other questions with the schedule?
You don't want my enforcer, Bushinsky, to go in there and make them work a little bit faster, or?
We take anything we can get. And I would recommend, if you're approving Series F, that you bid 6B, 6C, and 7A, roughly all in succession. Let's not wait months on the last project to bid. Otherwise, you probably won't get your pipe next summer.
Yep. Very good. Any action we have to do? This is just information, right?
Just information, yep.
Okay. Any questions of Kip? Everybody okay?
Good, thank you.
Thanks for your report. Cheaper and user engagement, memorandum of commitment approval of Traill County.
Chairman, members of the board, thank you for the opportunity to present this afternoon. This is not anything real new. I think at the time of your last presentation, we had learned that Traill County had signed up, and they had signed up for 1.22 CFS. Traill County is obviously the county between Cass and Grand Forks, and so you can see they would have been yellow on a past chart, and now they're green. If you look over at the right then, and we look at who we anticipate potentially may sign up still with our kind of soft approach that we're using, we think that the total for the project could go up to as much as 164.14 or maybe 165 if we get Devil's Lake. This is just another way of presenting that information, and you can see the various aspects of the groups that are signed up prior to October 25th, and they're a part of Series D2. Those users that signed up after October 25th of last year, and they don't have the Series D2 or Series F commitments. And then we anticipate that Dakota may still sign up, and as I indicated, Devil's Lake is still out there as well. And I think if Devil's Lake goes, we may get Lakota as well, a small community on Highway 2. What I'd like to do, if I could just take a few more minutes of your time. Somebody have a comment? I thought I heard a.
Was there a question?
Must have just been, okay.
Hit the link.
We've shown various different pipelines and things along the way, and I think sometimes it's hard for people to get an understanding of how all of this might fit together. And so on this map, we did include Devil's Lake, so that's where we get the 165.14 down in the far left-hand corner. And if you look, we anticipate serving Washburn off of the Missouri River, so there'd be a takeoff there with that arrow way on the left. And then whether McLean-Sheridan gets all of its water from Washburn or gets some by the McCluskey Canal, the worst case would be if we got it off the McCluskey Canal. So we put an arrow there at 0.42 CFS. That would have us taking 164.27 down the pipeline. There's a drop-off point then at Carrington for their industrial nomination. We'd continue. This assumes that we don't use the James River for conveyance, and so there'd be 11 CFS that would be dropped off on a pipeline down to the Jamestown area. And then we would continue with 152.77 CFS to the end of the pipe. At the end of the pipe, it's envisioned that there'll be some pipelines going north to serve a series of users, and those were shown on this previous graphic in terms of who they may be. And then if you go into the lake itself, we envision under this scenario that there'd be 139.8 CFS of capacity that could go into the lake. That would be stored and then released as needed. And you can see the users that we have downstream of Lake Ashtabula, then 2 CFS at Valley City. We have a series of users down in the southeast corner, some in the west part of southeast, some in the central part of southeast, and some in the east part of southeast. This looks at kind of a worst case scenario where we put all of southeast demand on the west side, which would then provide no return flows back into the Red River Basin. As we go up to Fargo, our largest user, 83.7 CFS, up to Grand Forks, 28.1 CFS, and then between Grafton and Rausch, we would have 3 CFS on the north end of the valley. So this just gives you maybe a little more of a graphical sense of where those nominations of folks that have signed the MOC or we anticipate signing the MOC where they might take water. And then I'll conclude with this diagram. This is the exact same thing, but in this case, if we use the James River as a conveyance mechanism, the 11 CFS that I had previously showed going west from Lisbon on the Cheyenne River now would be dropped off along the James River. So you'd have 22 CFS going down the James River of nominations, and then you'd reduce that node at Lisbon. With that, I'd be glad to answer any questions you have on user engagement.
Any questions of Steve?
Maybe this is for Paul Boersma. Where are we at on this task order? What have we paid to date, and what do we have left on the user engagement task order? Is Paul on today? No, he's not. Maybe someone can answer that question then.
So, Mayor Boczynski, if I may, I do know that you authorized a $125,000 amendment as somewhat of a bridge amendment from July 1st of 2025 to December 31st of 2025. And in that, it covers any carryover work for user engagement and for operational planning. And I think that amendment was approximately $125,000. And none of that has been billed to date because we just had the last approval in the four-step process. And so they're working, Black & Veatch is working on the contract, but there's $125,000 of budget that goes through December 31st of 2020 or 2025.
Okay, maybe if someone could just get Paul or whoever, just send the overall, like what we've spent today, what our total task order was, what's left, knowing that 125 is.
Dwayne, you can do that, or Kip? You guys can get that information. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Steve. We have an action item then to approve the Trail County commitment approval. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second, Schmidt.
Roll call vote, please.
Eltoff. Schuler.
Yes.
Wojciechowski.
Yes.
Broussard.
Yes.
Karlsruhe.
Yes.
Dardis.
Yes.
Erdman.
Yes.
Idzo.
Yes.
Mahoney.
Yes.
Meyer.
Yes.
Riley.
Yes.
Schmaltz.
Yes.
Schmidt.
Yes.
Motion's carried.
Very good. Today we have a Department of Water Resources update. Reese Haas is at a convention, so Pat Fridgen's going to report to us. Pat, are you on?
Yes, I am.
Thank you.
Chair Mahoney, can you hear me okay?
Yep, perfect.
All right, thank you. Good afternoon, authority members. Just a few updates from Department of Water Resources. The first, of course, just to mention that last week the commission did approve $55 million grant for the Red River Valley Water Supply Project. With the prior $150 million that was approved, that brings the total up to the $205 that was included in House Bill 1020. So good to see that that's all been approved, and glad you can move forward with utilizing that funding. A couple of other things I wanted to cover are related to the legislative studies that were included in our budget bill. Excuse me. That I think are very pertinent to LAWA. The first is the cost share program and policy evaluation. We did hire Deloitte to help us out with that project. Kicked off in December. We're expecting a final report by March. We're supposed to have a draft of water topics by March, but we think we can expedite that and have it wrapped up by that time period. Essentially, the purpose of that study is to look at available funding for water projects through 2039, the timing of those projects, and to identify any anticipated shortfalls that may result. The deliverables from that project will be basically a financial model to help our agency, governor's office, legislature, and of course project sponsors to identify any potential shortfalls to and to look at, of course, options to meet those shortfalls and to make sure that the cost share program is sustainable over time. The other study I wanted to provide an update on is the Regional Water System Governance and Finance study that kicked off also in September. We're hoping for a final report on that one by May. And the purpose of this one is to study the long-term governance and finance models of NAS, Southwest, and Red River Valley Water Supply projects. Western Area Water Supply was not included in House Bill 1020 for this particular study, so it's just going to be the other three big regional systems. And basically, the study will include an evaluation of the operational and organizational aspects of those three systems. And as part of the analysis, they'll be doing a strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and challenges analysis. They have started stakeholder interviews. I know last week they interviewed folks from Southwest. I think they're interviewing folks from Garrison Diversion team members tomorrow. I'm not sure when when LAWA members are scheduled to be interviewed, but those efforts are all, of course, part of the process. As I said, we're hoping to have this one wrapped up by May, with a draft report by March. One last study that I wanted to mention was Missouri River Intake Phase 2. Department of Water Resources had conducted a Phase 1, basically to look at potential intake locations along the Missouri River system, just for our state to be able to utilize more Missouri River water for our citizens and for economic development. As part of Phase 2, it'll basically be ground truthing results from Phase 1. That was essentially a desktop study. We did try to get some feedback from potential water users, and the feedback was pretty sparse. And so we are currently going through the process of actually calling some of those groups and water users to get some feedback on, what locations of intakes would be useful to them, what they might use the water for, and what their potential future water needs would be. So we're working through that right now. We're hoping to have an RFP on the street in November, and then ultimately move forward with that study, and field investigations. We're looking at starting those this spring and completion next summer. And so with that, Mr. Chair, I will pause, see if there are any questions from any of the board members.
Any questions from the board? Seems pretty clear to us. Sounds like a lot of information and a lot of study of what's going on in the future. Appreciate it, Pat.
Thank you.
Any other items you want to report on, or we're good? We got all our money. We're ready to go, the 205, and we're going to put Series F in, and then we should be able to get our stuff spent this year, I hope, next year.
That's all I had to report, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Project agreement update and plan, John Shockley. John, you're going to go through term sheet. First is tab J in your booklets.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chair. Can everyone hear me?
Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Yeah, there's not much of an update for the term sheet. Pretty similar to last month when we met. The term sheet has been provided to Garrison Diversions Council. I am not sure when we will get a response back, but the term sheet is consistent with what the board had previously approved. So I don't really have any additional updates on that work item.
Anybody have any questions on term sheet? You've seen it before. We're just waiting for reply. Okay. Interim finance agreement has been approved by a variety of us, and we have to have LAWA's agreement to it. So Series F has been handed out, and John Shockley to explain as well.
Thank you, Mr. Chair and members of the board. I think maybe a little bit of setting the table about the agreement and how we arrived at this point. The board will recall back in June and July that the LAWA board had developed really 4 position statements, a number of which included the split delivery of the project, along with some concerns about a number of our members who hold Thompson Acker rights, permit rights. Through that discussion, the board had approved really the concept around the term sheet and the talking points. From that point, we wanted to make sure that the Series F agreement reflected the direction that was given by the board And we, working with Council for Grand Forks and for Fargo, we developed some edits mainly to the recitals of the Series F agreement, along with some changes to the body of the document. That was then forwarded to Garrison's council. There was a significant amount of back and forth. Recently, it came to a head in which Garrison had responded back that they wanted some recitals removed and a number of them put back in meeting with Council for Grand Forks and Fargo. We agreed to the majority of the changes that were proposed by Garrison Diversion regarding the recitals. There were a few outstanding issues, one relating to the split delivery of the project as was endorsed by the board, and really the second was regarding the Thompson-Ackers rights. We then subsequently received a late night email from Council for Garrison, which was not well received, and as a result, the vice chair, is my understanding, the vice chair visited with Governor Armstrong about the need for the state to be more involved in the project and represent the state's interests. At the meeting back in June with North Dakota DWR, North Dakota DWR's position was that it was going to take the lead in meeting with the Thompson-Acker rights holders, which was consistent with the position that was being advanced by Lawa, Garrison, and Grand Forks. Subsequently, it's my understanding that the director of North Dakota DWR has become more involved in the project and helped facilitate the revision of recital number 7 in the Series F agreement. The Series F agreement now for recital 7 is pretty straightforward. It specifically identifies the 5 LAWA member entities that have Thompson-Acker rights, and specifically states that North Dakota DWR is going to be leading those negotiations and work through with the Thompson-Acker rights holders. Now, some of the board members might ask, why is that such a critical issue in the project? The Thompson-Acker rights holders, in accordance with the memo that was provided by North Dakota DWR, have a significant amount of the rights to store water within Lake Ashtabula, and resolution of what the extent and the nature of those rights are will be critical in building the legal foundation necessary to store water in Lake Ashtabula. As I've said many times, under my goal as counsel for LAWA is to make sure that all member entities have a marketable water right, which means that if you're paying for water in Lake Ashtabula, you have the ability, whether it's 1 CFS, 1 acre feet, or 82 CFS, that you pay for that right, you get what you want out of the right and what you paid for value. And so the Series F really reflects the work of Fargo, Grand Forks, and LAWA. I have shared the updated drafts with the other member entities that are signing the Series F agreement, and I have been in communication with them regarding these issues. And then finally, there is one section, Section 304. It's really a technical issue that the Section 304 of the agreement provided that the agreement contained an irrevocable pledge, which in the world of bond counsel work is akin to like a bond issue or a debt issuance, and was causing some heartburn with bond counsel for Grand Forks and Fargo and some of our other member entities. I did reach out to bond counsel for the Bank of North Dakota and floated some alternative language that is contained within Series F. He sounded receptive to it. I've sent a follow-up email. He did indicate that he had to run that by Bank of North Dakota, but what that really holds is that each city is required, that each city or entity that is participating in Series F is required to make the appropriation by October of each year. And if for whatever reason they don't make the appropriation, they have to notify all of the parties, including Bank of North Dakota. And then a non-appropriation would be a default under the Series F agreement. I utilized some similar language in a bond issue that I had put together for another city that was satisfactory to that underwriter and that financial institution. Happy to answer any questions regarding the matter, but I just want to thank both Grand Forks for all their efforts and Fargo. They put a lot of effort into working with me to try to come to a reasonable, acceptable version of the Series F agreement. Moving forward, our next concentration area will be to get the term sheet finalized and start working on a water supply agreement with Garrison Diversion. We're currently also working up a user agreement between Wawa and the end users for providing them water. And so it's really been a coordinated effort to get some of the work done. Happy to answer any questions, Mr. Chair, and try to give a brief overview of a lot of issues that have happened over the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, I want to congratulate the legal team for working on this vigorously and coming to a reasonable resolution of the issue. LAWA has to also endorse the Series F for it to go ahead. I would entertain a motion.
Move.
Move to approve, Carlsruhe. You get a second?
I'll second.
Second, Shinsky. Any discussion or questions?
I have a question. We haven't seen this handout yet and everything's going on, so.
Brent, do we have a handout? It says there a handout supposed to be here.
I haven't had a chance to look at it at all, so could we table this until the next meeting? Get a chance to see what's going on with it?
I'll ask Brent to come and make.
I can make a couple of comments just in the meantime. I think we would have loved to have more time. I think that the this is the most bizarre negotiation I've ever been a part of. Our legal team would send red lines, just kind of your standard, and then we'd receive back 2 to 3 page narratives riddled with comments that bond counsel and the Bank of North Dakota weren't approving it. That wasn't the case at all. We had to go around and spend more time to go directly to the source. This is a loan with the Bank of North Dakota. Ultimately, we had to go to them to get some of the answers. Ultimately, the final email launched all kinds of threats and accusations. It was, like I said, quite bizarre, but yet we continue to move forward. So I think we had hoped that we would have this much sooner. The last couple of adjustments were certainly in Wawa's favor once things settled down a bit. But I think we're in a really good spot. I know we've gotten a majority of the users have approved it already. Certainly, if there's some issue in there that you are aware of or that you have concern over, bring it to our attention.
Unless I have a chance to discuss, look at it, I really, just to put it out on the table right now, I have a little problem with it until I can go through it.
Brent, what was the thing about the copy of it?
Yeah, apologies. I thought that I can probably work with Bruce and get some hard copies printed out here. It didn't get sent because of the lateness. We didn't get it in the packet, so I did not prepare hard copies to have on everyone's desk. That was just miscommunication on my part with Lisa, that I didn't have that prepared. So we can get that if you want to review it. As Mayor Bochensky said, I believe 5 of the 7 or cities that are signers on Series F have approved it now. But I can get those.
Will it delay the bid in any way if we hold up?
I would look to.
No. Yep, we're okay to go ahead because the users have signed up, basically?
I'm not sure, I'm confused. I thought I heard 2 different things, but I guess if you delay and wait for Jim to read it, I don't think that's going to cause a delay, if that was the question.
Yes.
Okay.
So we could delay it to our next meeting if we wanted, if that's the feeling of the board. Because in fairness, the board members, if they haven't seen it, it's hard to make a decision.
Yeah. The other option is to approve it pending input from board members, so that there's a chance so you could vote to approve, and if anyone has any significant issues, it could come back to the next meeting, similar to what the cities have done with it, where they approved it contingent on final legal review. So at least LAWA could approve it today, and then contingent on input from any members. That would be another option in legal review. So if any board members had questions to run by Shockley or Katie as legal counsel, they could do that.
Well, if there is no problem with delaying, can't we just delay it to the next vote?
Could do that.
I don't know how many other board members have seen this yet.
If you haven't seen it, it'd probably be fair to let you delay and vote on it next meeting if it doesn't delay the bidding. I just don't want to hold up the bidding. So if there's no issue with that, I'd like the board members to review it in case you have any suggestions. If you have suggestions over all the attorneys we have, I'd be surprised, but in fairness, it's best to look at what you want to see. So is there a motion to table it till next meeting?
Also move.
Is there a second? All those in favor say aye.
All right.
Yeah, we will table it till next meeting then. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Katie, we have unfinished business, approval of the LAWA bylaws, and we thought we're almost done with these, but we got to approve one more time?
Nope, they're approved. Just to note that they're included in your packet.
They are in the front of the packet.
Yes.
Anybody, Tom, Erdman, you have any changes to that, or are you okay? Bylaws?
No, Mr. Chairman, I'm okay with the bylaws. I'd like to put in their consideration that was given to those bylaws.
Thank you. Brent,
Mr. Chairman,
go ahead.
Mr. Chair, this is Jeremy Schuler. Can I
Yeah.
ask a question on the bylaws, just for
Sure.
curiosity? Section 6, number 5, pretty self-explanatory. It was the 2/3 majority for the voting. Can you just, and I'm not trying to pick this apart, but just so I understand it, in number 6, basically it's the same as number 5, but in what scenario would you use that a vote from the city of Fargo is needed? I guess it's probably a dumb question, but I just don't understand, and why would you have it?
We'll have Katie explain it.
Sure. This was when the city of Fargo is needed on an affirmative vote on all of those supermajority items, except for the exception of LAWA officers and senior staff.
Okay,
And- yep.
that's all it's,
Yep.
That's all that it means. Yep.
okay. No, simple as that. Thank you.
Any other questions? LAWA city member election results. Brent, you want to explain that a little bit, what happened?
Yes, thank you, Chair. At the League of Cities annual conference, the election for city representation on the LAWA board takes place. We had the elections, trying to think, my weeks get blurred up, but it was about 3 or 4 weeks ago when the League of Cities meeting was, and elections were held. We elect the cities based off of how statute is. There's a city east of Highway 1, north of Highway 200, over 40,000. I mean, you could go through the same list as in the bylaws, but through all of that, in the elections, Lisbon was elected to represent cities. That was the one change from Mayville to Lisbon. Lisbon was elected to represent the cities less than 5,000 east of Highway 1. So that's the change. You already introduced Mayor Tim Meyer from Lisbon as on the board. That was the results of the election there.
Thank you. So that's for information. And we did talk to Don Moen at Mayville to make sure he understood that no offense was meant at all. That.
Correct.
Thank you. We have a resolution, 2 resolutions here. I'd like Mayor Boshinsky to read the first one in honor of John Hancock.
Thank you. I know we had this on our virtual and we postponed it till today, so just wanted to do it in person. Resolution of condolences honoring the life and legacy of Jack Hancock. Whereas the Lake Agassiz Water Authority mourns the passing of Jack Hancock of Gilby, North Dakota, And whereas Jack Hancock dedicated his life to the betterment of his community, not only as a lifelong farmer, but as a tireless advocate for rural water systems across North Dakota. Whereas Jack served with distinction on the Agassiz Water Users Board of Directors for an extraordinary 46 years, demonstrating unwavering commitment to ensuring access to safe and reliable water for rural communities. Whereas Jack's leadership extended to the state level, where he served on the executive board of the North Dakota Rural Water Systems Association for 18 years, including 2 terms as president, was recognized with the Friend of Rural Water Award in 1996, the Clark Cronquist Waterline Award in 2015, and the prestigious Commodore Award in 2019, the highest water honor bestowed by the Governor of North Dakota. Whereas Jack's legacy is one of service, humility, and leadership, and his contributions have left an indelible mark on North Dakota's water systems and the lives of countless residents. Now therefore be it resolved that the Lake Agassiz Water Authority Board of Directors, duly assembled in Fargo in the state of North Dakota on October 14, 2025, expresses its deepest condolences to the family of Jack Hancock and honors his memory with the gratitude and respect for his decades of service to water development and stewardship in North Dakota. Be it further resolved that this resolution be entered into the official record of the Lake Agassiz Water Authority and shared with Jack's family as a testament to his enduring impact and high esteem in which he was held.
Is there a motion to approve? Is there a second?
I'll second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Our second resolution is the appreciation of the City of Mayville. Whereas the City of Mayville has been a committed member of Lake Agassiz Water Authority Board, contributing to the advancement of regional water infrastructure and long-term water security for North Dakota communities. And whereas Don Moen, representing the City of Mayville, has demonstrated steadfast leadership, thoughtful engagement, and deep commitment to the mission of LAWA and the development of the Red River Valley water supply. And whereas the contributions of the City of Mayville have helped shape the strategic direction of Red River Valley water supply, ensuring the needs of member communities are represented, and that project remains focused on delivering reliable, high-quality water to the region. And whereas their service has exemplified the spirit of collaboration, and public stewardship that is essential to the success of regional initiatives like the Red River Valley water supply, now therefore be it resolved that Lake Agassiz Water Board Authority Board of Directors, duly assembled in Fargo in the state of North Dakota on October 14, 2025, hereby express its sincere appreciation for the City of Mayville and Don Moen for their years of dedicated service, leadership, and support of the Red River Valley Water Supply Project. And be it further resolved that their contributions are recognized as instrumental to the progress of the Red River Valley Water Supply Project and deeply valued by LAWA Board and its member communities. Do I have a motion? Is there a second?
Schmidt.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Do we have any other business or questions by the members? Motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second, Schmidt.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
We're adjourned. Thanks, Schmidt, for being my second all the time.
Aye.